All right, hello. Welcome back to more Forza Talks. Dang it. I figured that would have happened. I wonder if you guys can actually hear that all that well because I listen back to it sometimes and it's hard to see. My my average speed is going down 49 miles an hour. Wow. Those are peasant speeds.
Welcome
Oh,
back,
it's not
users.
loud. It doesn't need to be loud, but you know. All right, what are we driving today? Oh yeah, let's fix this and see if we can just make this little change. Yeah. Okay. Let me get to the top of the car because apparently I jacked it up and no one can see that. Can I move this, please? Can not fit on the window? Okay. Is chat? Do you got chat? Jeez. Do you guys know any way of making that happen? I'm sure we'll find out. No. Yeah. Okay. Hang on. I can already imagine somebody being like, "Oh my gosh, you just got to do the just yeah, I know. That's just the bumper, isn't it? Can I move this elsewhere? No. Oh, that's not gonna work for me then. All right, ignore it. I'll change it later. Got it. Thank you. Ooh, maybe we paste it here. That's how you do it. Okay, cool, great. I need to rotate this bad boy. All right. Just that easily, I was like, I'm gonna give up. But there we go. We kind of did it. How much window space do I have? Oh my gosh. I get really irritated when my head itches. For some reason, even though that's not a thing I need to do is be irritated at it. It's fine. It happens. Perfect. Okay, now let's get rid of the one on top of the car because oops. There we go. All right, cool. Save it. Save it. I forgot which button it was. Duh. There you go. Forza Living. Okay. Save the current car. You know what's funny? As I was sitting here watching some archaeological videos, and I do that sometimes. It's not a brag. That's just like cool. That's one of my interests. It's not an interest of everybody. I wish more people did have interests like that because you should. Why did this change? I dislike OBS at many times. How loud is this? Not that loud. She's already getting. Whoops! There it goes. Yeah, that's better. Love the little fastback here. I'm gonna catch him. Look at that. Look at the wheels. Look at the car. Beautiful. Somebody asked the question because I was watching a video about the tomb of Jesus, and somebody asked the question, oh, "Why do none of my history teachers teach this?" And that's not to insult them or anything and be like, "Oh, mock them," but like for those who of us who are believers, like you know why we know why. Right? It's the same reason why you're not taught anything too useful. You're taught stuff that could definitely help you at some point. But like there are certain things that you're never going to be taught. because it is not wanted for you to learn certain things. Because we're taught all this other stuff about history and how great, this country is, blah, 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 and what we've done and our interaction with the world. It's funny because growing up, it was in our history books. It was. Like we you know how kids are. They just you get a new book, you start flipping through it, especially when you're in like talk about social studies or any books that have like any sort of pictures in them. Like we start looking through our textbooks. It's in there. I think Paul was also in our history books.
In 400 yards.
So that confirms something. And that's pretty interesting. I forgot I don't really have a turn signal in this game. Oh yeah, there's a video I saved of somebody doing a realistic drive through Forza Horizon 6 with like steering wheel, and I think they're in like one of the EVs, the Honda E, I think it is. Pretty cool. I didn't get to watch it yet, but I want to. It's like 6 hours long, I think. Which, driving around for 6 hours in this, I can't do it. I'd be crying my eyes out. But the truth is held back because it has power, right? Because the world would tell you that you don't need church, you don't need God, all that stuff is useless, pointless, it's just a bunch of rituals, it's people coping in life, and I'm like, no, not really. Those poor arguments really just, they don't hold up to anybody who's actually, like, had time to study and learn the word and, understand what the Bible's actually telling us. And those that believe Christ, right? So that was one of those things I was like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, we know why. I know why. Because they don't want you to learn anything truthful. They don't want you to see anything powerful. They don't want this God business interrupting with their business of, like, wanting to control you, keep you dumb, keep you blind to the things that are going on. They want you to keep on partying, keep on having a good time. Don't think about, eternity. Think about right now. What about getting drunk tomorrow? What about getting high tomorrow? What about, getting hooked up tonight? They don't want you to think critically, right? And I say they, but you have governments, you have these billionaires and these people who have a lot of power, a lot of money. And it's obvious. It's not some joke. We've seen it. We know what happens. We've exposed that. We've discovered that the media is bought and controlled. Like, each network is owned by either somebody different, and they have competing ideals and politics, and all it is just meant to...
Turn left.
What the frick is happening out there? Oh no, a collision! Oh! That guy straight up tried to kill me. Dude was speeding. Sorry, that threw me off. I was like, wow, I didn't expect him to be going so fast.
In 400 yards. Turn right.
I love running into people. They're great. Unless they're nasty to me, then that's not so great.
Turn right.
There's a lot of people out today. What's up? I'm enjoying it. But we understand, right? It's just, you don't want to be... And yet people still believe the news, and people still believe everything they see on social media. I'm like, bro, how could you be so trusting of this? And yet the Bible tells you exactly what's happening in the world today. It's old, and has been proven to be old. And not only that, we've got manuscripts, lots of them, that tell us this accurate information. Like, the Bible has yet to actually be proven to be invalid. Everything that is written in it has been true and still applies to this day. It is living word, as you can probably have heard it called if you've been around the faith. But, like, it's living word, so it applies. The lessons that we see in the Bible from, like, the people of Israel, the nation of Israel, Like you can see them all their times. They go back and forth between loving God, like serving God, and betraying Him. They literally go back and forth. And I mean, if you look at the Old Testament, like the story is a lot of God being like, "Hey, you're my people. I love you. I want to care for you. I want to, I want you guys to dwell with me." And the people being like, "Yeah, you know what? That sounds good." And then 5 seconds later, they're going, "Hey, let's build some idols. Let's go worship these other gods. These other guys are these other nations are worshiping. Let's try that. That sounds good." Let me turn this up a little bit. I don't want to be drowning out the car too much. Um, and it's a story of God then leaving them alone to their fate, right? And then being like, "Oh my gosh, it's terrible. It hurts. We're dying. Oh, we're suffering." And it's like, "Yeah, I told you not to do that, chief. I told you what would make you prosper, and yet you're out here doing the exact opposite thing." Even after I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I've got, here's this thing, it's just some simple, guidelines to follow so you don't mess yourself up because I understand that you're human and I understand it's tough." We're gonna grab this one while we're over here. I'll skip all that. I make my own path. All right, great. I You didn't see that happen. I somehow
Calculating route.
perfectly drove around it.
In 100 yards,
I gotta make some
turn left.
onigiri again soon. I'm not in the mood for Asian food currently, but when I am, you best believe I'm about to make me some onigiri. Texas style, actually, Texas style. But like, it's, oh man, if that's the story, right? We see that, and the reason why this happens is these people are being shown, right, that you have a hard time surviving without God, and God's here trying to get you to the point where you can um, dwell with Him forever and have peace, have joy, have
In
constant
400
love.
yards, turn left.
Man, and it's so crazy. And it's not crazy. It's crazy, but it's not crazy, right? The world is gonna do what it's gonna do,
Turn
and
left.
believers are called not to be like the world. The scripture says that we are in the world, but not of the world, meaning we don't follow the world's customs and traditions, and we don't, go crazy and or live life based on the world's morals. Because if that at that point, it's anything's fair game then. Like there's no limits. I can go cheat on my wife. I can go have 16 baby mamas. Yeah, I can go hook up with anybody, everywhere, at any time. I can drink this and smoke that all day long and claim it's unfair that I get fired from my job because I didn't show up. But if I did show up, drunk and high, it's unfair. I get pulled over by cops for speeding, and it's unfair. It's racial profiling, even though I was breaking the law. Clearly breaking the law. Not even like, oh, it's close. No, I'm doing 90 in a 25, and they're like, pull me over, and I'm like, that's racist. Don't do. What are you doing? Like, it's a wonder sometimes, um, to me, because that's part of just the walk. And it's just been like, okay, yep, this is what the world does. This is what the Bible says the world does. This is what the Bible says that here we go.
You have arrived at
Heck
your
yeah, we did
destination.
that. Lots of pain and suffering. Hang on, I gotta do this the right way. Okay, cool. Get out of here. I'm ready to beat up my car for this. Where is this? Okay. Oh man, I missed this one. How? He's just been chilling here. Hi, little buddy. Okay. Where's the next one? We're just going on a trip. We'll hit a few this time. Brother, I had to sneeze. That hurt. Sorry. The other thing I want to talk about is because I heard this on a podcast recently, and I just had to like get my own thoughts out there about it. Some of you may be like under the I don't know, under the influence of some weird Christians, and I call them weird because they are, right? We're like I said, we're called to be we're called in the world, but not of it. But that doesn't mean we can't enjoy things that exist while we're here. Like a lot of people get stiff. There's a lot of Christians today that are stiff about their beliefs, and they're a little too strict, right? They really border on the line, and they kind of get to the line of like Pharisee, where they're like, this isn't, and this isn't, and this isn't what we're supposed to be doing, and this isn't and this isn't, and that isn't, and like, to the point where it's like, do you enjoy anything in life? Because the Bible does tell us to enjoy some stuff, that we can enjoy some things. The Bible doesn't say be a stiff Christian. Never enjoy anything. Happiness is not a part of this life. Everything is torture and suffering. It's not what that is. Like, sure, persecution comes sometimes, but like, if you live in the Western world, it's usually like a person who's agitated by you preaching the truth, and then that's usually the end of it. You can either pray for them and love them, or whatever, or love them and just kind of ignore them and send them on their way, or something of that nature. You can do that. But like, I can enjoy movies. I can enjoy movies with cussing in it. I can enjoy movies with swear words. Yes. You know, I've seen Hancock. I've seen I'm not gonna lie. No, I'm not gonna say that one. We're just gonna leave that one out of the question. But like, I've seen horror movies. I play horror games. Like, people be like, "Oh, it's demonic." It's not. It's not. Here's the thing, right? The way that works is like, if I have that level of fear already in me, then I like, if you have that much of a sensitivity to like stuff like horror games, you need to not be playing and watching horror content. It's as simple as that. I'm gonna get this board real quick. That means you're not spiritually mature enough to do that, to deal with that stuff. But as a mature believer, I'm going to tell you that, oh, hey, I can do that. I can play. I mean, because I've played GTA, right? I don't know if anybody. The videos are on YouTube. They're on this channel. It's like one video I edited really heavily. But believe me, I played GTA. It's whatever. I played Triple Z, Zenless Zone Zero. I had to stop playing that because it was just weird. The characters were just mostly weird. Like, I understand the problem with the characters and how they're modeled and what happened. It's too jiggly, right? Too jiggly and too weird at that. Incorrect car. You can fight me sideways. Incorrect car. I'll shoot you. I'm just kidding. I won't. Violence is not what that. What are you doing, Chief? But I play COD. Like, it's not. Just because we play these things doesn't mean we live these things, right? Like, as a believer, I can drink if I wanted to. I could have a glass of wine right now. That's not a sin. That's a myth that's a sin. It's getting drunk, right? That's a misunderstanding, I would say, not a myth. But it's you can't get drunk, because that's the problem, right? Being drunk and out of your right mind, because the Bible tells us to be sober-minded. Those are the problems. Those are the sins. So doing these substances and consuming these substances, which take you out of your clear understanding, because that can lead you to make bad decisions, right? You can't make someone drink the tea if you both are not conscious and aware. No means no. And yes, when somebody's tipsy also means no. That especially means no. Some of you know what I'm talking about. But that's the reason why. That's some of the reasoning behind why you're called to be sober minded and why we shouldn't be getting drunk or high and no, because we make stupid decisions. We don't make sound decisions when we're high, when we're drunk. Like it don't that just that's not it. We just don't make reasonable decisions. Some of us don't make reasonable decisions when we're too tired or too hungry. Let alone, you're drunk and high. Like you could just be hungry and then you get hangry and then you say some stuff that you didn't mean. So imagine you drunk off your butt. Imagine you high as a kite. Of course you wouldn't make good decisions. So that's what that means. Don't be drunk. Don't go overboard and indulge too much. But if you like a tobacco, like if you're a guy, because it's like what's his name, the Lord's Giant on social media. He has a smoke with me videos, but it's pipe tobacco, and it's not all the time. It's every once in a while, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's no conviction about it. It's just like, okay, we do that. It's not great for your health, sure. Um, Not the best thing for your health. But if that's not an addiction for him, and if that's not a god for him, then the problem really isn't there. The problem becomes when it's like, I need this tobacco and this is what I need versus God. Like I don't need God. I need this tobacco. This is what gets me. No. Like that's when it becomes a problem.
In 400 yards, turn right.
But if it's like a life has been stressful recently, because that's the same thing. You can I can have a beer if life has been tough recently, and I'm just like, I need a beer, like something, just a little sip of just a taste of something different to take the edge off or whatever. Every now and then, sure,
Turn
but
right.
not constantly. Not for the sake of getting drunk.
Turn
Maybe a
left.
little loose, but not too loose. Because that's the thing, you can still go to parties and whatnot, and it just depends on, obviously, you got to watch. And in music, I still would keep it clean. Like,
In 200 yards,
I wouldn't listen to
turn
like
left.
"Hit 'Em Up" by Tupac, which is a really bad song. But I wouldn't be listening to anything extreme. I'd just be, like I still listen to metal.
Turn left.
I still listen to, I said extreme, and somebody's gonna be like, well, now that you said that, I'm like, oh, I'm glad he's not extreme. I'm glad he didn't overreact. um, but I still listen to metal. I still sometimes listen to hip hop, not like secular hip hop. It's usually just Christian hip hop. So secular hip hop never really did it for me, unless it's oh my gosh, I can't remember the names. Bro, I listen to that song all the time. What is the name of it? Public Enemy. There we go. That's the band. That's the group. Jeez, my brain had like a horrible time because I'm like, "Shut 'Em Down" is the song I listen to. It's usually for my workouts, you know. But I can listen to some of these bands. I can listen to AC/DC. I listen to for those about to rock.
Turn
I do
left.
like that song. I listen to Guns N' Roses. Like, it's okay.
In
It's
200
not a
yards,
sin. Really not a
turn
sin.
right.
If the lyrics are disgusting stuff, like I don't listen to Welcome to the Jungle, cause okay. That song pretty
Turn
not
right.
good. Definitely not something I should be listening to. What the frick, bro? He's having a seizure. Hello, Chief. Can you drive? Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't want none of that. That's weird. I'll do one more, cause I got time. But like, just because you're saved doesn't mean you have to like suddenly stop associating with every single thing on planet Earth, except for your Bible, your worship music, and Jesus, and a few Christians. Like, no, that's weird. Like, we win souls by being people, right? That's the way that people get saved. Like, if I wasn't just honestly listening and hanging out with one of my friends, she would have never gotten saved. If I was
You've
acting all
arrived
high
at your
and mighty and
destination.
uppity and being like, "Well, you're not this, so I can't really talk to you." Like, that's the thing. I know people that have, I swear, if I keep doing that, I know people, a few people that have had like Christian families and such. And the problem is that they're too much like a gang. Too much like a gang. Like, they're like, "You're not in this, or you're not part of this auxiliary. You're not serving in this section of the church, so we don't really want to associate with you. You're a piece of garbage. You need to get out of here," or whatever. They just neglect you, and they're like, you're not a Christian. Get out of here. You don't serve in this particular portion of the church. What's wrong with you? How dare you exist?" Like, seriously, like, what? What are you talking about? And really, what we're supposed to be is just, we're supposed to be listening and paying attention and comforting these people and loving on these people. You don't love people by telling them, "Hey, you're doing everything wrong because you're not following these traditions, these specific traditions." Like, that's how you lose people. Okay? If there's one thing I've learned, that's how you lose people. You will never gain people by I'm gonna stab this man. You'll never gain souls by, what do we got here? The Nurburgring. Cool, great. You'll never win souls by being
In 200
overly
yards,
religious,
turn left.
um, and being more of, because that's like what Pharisees do. They're all about tradition, tradition, tradition. Follow the law, tradition. Follow the law, tradition. Screw that
Turn
this person is
left.
hurt and needs healing and needs help, or screw that this person needs an ear to needs a shoulder to cry on.
In
Tradition,
200
tradition,
yards,
tradition.
turn right.
That's why Jesus had to come anyway, is because that was taking over, and
Turn
that was
right.
part of the reason, right? He came for multiple reasons, but that was one of the things that he addressed while he
200
was here,
yards,
because these
turn
people,
right.
you know, I think there was something about the
Turn right.
Pharisees. There's, I can't remember exactly, so don't quote me. You have to look it up yourself and do some extra research. But there was a time where Pharisees were wearing scriptures like on their foreheads or something of that manner, and they weren't. And again, they can wear those, but if they're not following the scriptures, it's empty, right? It's empty. That just is for outward looking only, and nothing inward, nothing actually useful for a lost soul that may be looking for shelter. That's what we're supposed to be. I'm like, that's why I still do this. I play games. I try to be chill and not be too uppity and up about myself. Because I'm like, dude, I'm a sinner. Like, I'm saved by grace, but like, I'm still capable of sinning. Like, I can go and cuss somebody out right now. I can knock on my neighbor's door and be like, he'll answer, and I'll be like, and I'll just cuss him out, just up and down, and then go back to come back to my apartment, and then next Sunday just go to church like nothing happened, pretend like nothing happened. I can do that. That'd be wrong.
In 400 yards, turn right.
You know, Matt. Do you know how many times I've wanted to go back and indulge in some adult videos, saved and married, but my flesh still would desire such things. Now it's up to me to say no, and
Turn
thankfully, and
right.
that's why I like streaming and doing YouTube, and also just sometimes going to bed early, because it helps me say no. Because I think about scriptures. I remember my pastor's voice in the back of my head being like, because he's preached several sermons on this, and it's like, okay, well, I shouldn't, so I won't. And it's hard. It is not easy, dude. Because when you've been addicted for so long, that is just like something to turn to. And I guess and it makes sense because you kind of get and relate to how smokers feel and alcoholics feel. It's like, okay, this is a thing that has given my body a positive response, and it makes me want more of it. And therefore, I'm going to do whatever I can to get it. This is why I can't wait for a foot pedal. Foot pedal, gas pedals, and brake pedals. Because I he took off. How people be driving on the highway just so you don't cut them off, just so they don't have to slow down for you. Man, I'm like seriously, it is wild that we have like people who call themselves Christians and yet become so unrelatable. Like y'all, we're not that holy. Like we're not that holy. Yes, we're saved by grace, but we're still very much capable of sinning and being horrible, terrible people. And it's understanding that where we came, and it's for not forgetting where we came from. Like we can't act like we were born saved, because that's not true. Like I bullied people before, and I've been bullied in return. To be fair, I think that's just my just desserts. Because honestly, that's just God being like, okay, you did this, that's gonna happen to you. Feel bad about it. And then here's the thing: your sin in sin, that will have you feeling like you're a victim, even though I've bullied people in the past. And then to get bullied, it's like you're somehow like, oh, you're like the Pikachu face, the shocked Pikachu face. Or you're like the well no, I was gonna say like the guy putting a stick in his spokes on his bike on his bike. No. That's I think it's a little bit different. But it's like you're surprised. Like you're acting like a victim, like I've been bullied, but you bullied. Like, oh no, the consequences of my actions. Somebody else did the thing to me I was doing for somebody else. Gosh, we're terrible. I don't mean that in a sense to just call everybody horrible, but like people can be so bad. And if you didn't know that, you do now. I'm not Mike. Look, I'm a nice person now. I'm forgiving now. I'm patient now. But like at some point, I was not. At some point, I was not. I'm loving now, but it's at some point I was not. And that's where I can relate to other people who aren't saved. I'm like, yeah, I know what you're going through. I've suffered with depression. I've dealt with that. You know, I know what it's like to want to crave vengeance. I know what that is. I know what that's like. To be petty to somebody else just because they were, petty to you or they just wronged you. I understand. Trust me. I've had many of those thoughts. I don't think I really acted on those too many times. Probably like one or two. But honestly, because I'm not a big conflict person like that for stuff, for being petty back to someone. Because then you just start a whole war and it's just like, okay, who's going to give in first? Excuse me, in a burp. Apologize. Um, but you got to think, right? It's like, oh man. Did I find it? Nope. I did. Oh, it's real sensitive though. I'll give it that much. I think we're doing it. Sorry, this is taking all my focus now. It's ever so slightly revving down, and I'm like trying to keep it even. I'm hoping like where my finger is, its current positioning, it'll like stay relatively close to that. I can't wait till I can do this and just like have my hands on the steering wheel and just chilling and going about the business. I'm gonna try to get the Xbox One so that way I can hook it up to my Xbox as an alternative if this isn't working for some reason, because sometimes this won't work. And if I'm driving with others, it'll be nice to just have that too. Such a tame speed. What was that yellow bit there on the map? That was weird. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, being relatable. Right. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be relatable. So, but like, oh yeah, I listen to metal too. It just, my metal is because you can always. That's the thing, right? I believe you can still listen to regular metal, depending on what the words are, what the meaning of the song is. Now, if the meaning of the song is literally like "let demons inside you," which that's you. I think you'd know that. It's like okay, right? I get it. Like I think you'd understand that that's not great. But like, there's Christian metal out there that's pretty good actually. I'm like I won't lie, and I can't be too modest about it. It's actually pretty good. You got to find it. Like I've had people give me entire lists, and I'm like, heck yeah. I'm still working through lists. Like I have to find the time to actually get through more lists. I have like 12 lists to get through, playlists. Somebody was nice enough to put them on YouTube. Others I just got to pull off the Spotify and see what's up. But dude, good stuff out there.
In 400 yards, turn left.
So I'm gonna be honest, like we do better, and it is better for us to just continue. Like we're obviously we're striving to sin less. We're striving to be better. We're striving to
Turn left.
represent Christ in our everyday lives and our actions by loving you where you are, and not because that's the thing, right? When we get saved, we're not perfect. We don't have it together when you get saved. You're not supposed to, because if that was the case, if you could just get your life together and before you get saved, like salvation would have 0 point. But like there'd be no point because it's like you have the ability to do that anyway. No, the point is that we can't really get there. Christ has all the answers and the power to help us out, and He does if we believe in Him, if we choose to believe in Him. So I don't think we're gonna make it in time. I have to end here soon because I got some business to take care of. Probably should go to sleep at some point too. Oh, I gotta take my multivitamin. My vitamins. But I'll say that's the long and short of that. Is that for those who aren't believers? Look,
In 400
if you're curious
yards,
about this, I would
turn
say I
left.
would recommend trying to find someone who is relatable and who's like, yeah, I struggle with stuff all the time, dude. Like, you kidding me? Yeah, I'm in debt. I have credit card debt. Yes, I'm a Christian. I have credit card debt. I didn't have
Turn
credit card. I
left.
had credit card debt before I got saved, but like I struggle with
In
finances,
400
or I struggle
yards,
with
turn
expressing my
right.
emotions and feelings. Believers struggle with that stuff too. That's the thing, and that some people like if they find it hard to believe. But for others, it's like all they see is these, I don't know, stonewall believers that are just like, yep, Jesus is my savior, and
Turn
that's it.
right.
I'm perfect. Like, no, like, I'm imperfect. I have so many flaws that I'm still working on to try to be better so I can represent Christ better and hopefully have more friends get saved because they've seen my humanity and understand that it's not me that has, it's not under my own power that but my life has improved or that I'm able to go through struggles with a smile on my face, and able to have peace in those scenarios when things seem to be going wrong at every turn in my life. Like, I want them to see, like, yes, struggle is real. I suffer with it. That he got up there fast. Like, struggle is real. We go through stuff. Um, and in our suffering, there is purpose, right? On my streams, I've had Romans 5 up. I have to look back at the thing here. Hold on. Romans 5, verses 3 through 5. And that deals with um, perseverance. So, I mean, like, stuff like that. It's important that we show ourselves to still, because we're still human. I'm shaved, but
400
I'm still,
yards, turn
and I'm still a
right.
human. There's no but, like, and I'm still a human. Still very much capable of sinning, but the closer I get to God, the less I want to. Because it's like, yeah, this stuff really isn't good for me. Because the
Turn
Bible tells
right.
you the the dangers of
In
that, of
100
sin.
yards,
It tells you the
turn
dangers of all
right.
these things that we do that we're like, that the world is just like, do it anyway. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I think about that. People that are like, you tell them, hey, this is not good for you. I don't care. All right, buddy. I guess. Because you can't help somebody who doesn't want to be helped. But man, if somebody's like, you're telling them, hey, I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me. That's your opportunity, Chief. Sometimes that's your opportunity and your opening. Because not every conversation with a person who isn't saved has to be, you're going to hell if you don't believe in Christ. It's just like, hey, bud, how you doing? How you
In
feeling?
400 yards,
Like, I put a lot
turn
of scriptures on
left.
my social media, but the real part of me is just like, yeah, I'm chilling. I still watch reels that have some stupid jokes in it. I laugh at fart jokes sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I look. It depends. It depends. It really
Turn left.
depends. Not all the time I do, but I definitely still do. But I just don't get down with like ultra crude humor or super dirty humor. Like, I'm married now. If I want to make a dirty joke, I make it to my wife in private. And that's it. That's as far as that goes. So, because I can, because we're married. And that's what happens. But until next time, thank you guys so much for listening. I want to have these come out on Friday. Honestly, I'm feeling more comfortable with these. It's been actually really cool and really rewarding to have these. By soup? I hope you're soup and not tea. I could easily look this up because it's Forza and it's Japanese. It's like it's just available. That's okay. But until next time, stay safe, stay hydrated, and as always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.